gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Make Your Beauty Right podcast is a daily, unfiltered, no holds barrier look into the world of personal branding, beauty, leadership, and life as a creative entrepreneur. I'm your host, Lena Nicole, image and personal branding strategist. And my goal is to give you life to the worries that all of us face day after day, struggling to fulfill our purpose and to create a glamorous legacy. In this Laugh Out Loud podcast, me and my guests will be discussing the best ways to make up your mind, monetize that brand, glam up your image like a boss, and how you can stay motivated in a world full of distractions. Your unfiltered beauty experience starts now. You are now listening to Make Your Beauty Mark podcast. Hey guys, what's up? What's up, beautiful people? Happy Mindset Makeover Monday, getting money Monday. Of course, as always, Ariel is here. Ariel's in the background. What's up? You are checking out Make Your Beauty Mark podcast with Lena Nicole. Trying to be perfect. You know who's gonna do it for you every time? Your kids are gonna do it for you every time. Turn it down for me, mama. Turn it down, Chuck. Thank you, boo. So guys, what's up? Again, you guys should know if you haven't been here long, if you're new here, let me welcome you on. And listen, this is comfortable conversations. This is really getting into the nitty gritty of your personal brand, who you are, and the whole nine. And on top of that, this is unfiltered. This is unfiltered because your real life is that way. You're building a personal brand. There we go. I couldn't even get it out. What happens is sometimes you don't show up because you're trying to make it perfect, right? You're trying to be perfect. So you feel like if you already don't have the audience, if you feel like you already don't quote unquote have the influence, you can't show up and be that person. So this podcast is completely unedited. You probably see me fall, stutter, do all the types of stuff. I just had this whole conversation with my little person before we started. Please don't scream me, please. And we weren't even 10 minutes. We weren't even 5 seconds into the show. And here we go. Saying that to say this is life and you're going to have to adjust and flow with it. So again, welcome on in. Come sit down. Listen, it's after 5 o'clock. Enjoy your glass of wine, partake. Again, this is 18 and older, 21 and up, please, mind you. Because again, with your personal brand, we talk about so much. We're going to talk about you as the person, of course, who you're dating, because that is a huge part of your personal brand, because that is going to tie over into your business. If you're a quote unquote power couple, if you want to be a power couple, if you want to establish that. With that being said, let's make sure we call out this. Here is the title of this podcast. We're talking about matching down to the socks. Are you really in your own brand? Are you really 10 toes down? Listen, for the youngins, I don't know. I don't really see too many people do it nowadays, but growing up back in the day, the thing was like you matched all the way down. Like dudes would have like the yellow and blue cap and the yellow and blue shirt with the jeans, and then the sneakers had to be the same way, whether it was Jordans, whatever it was. Or you saw a lot of men in dandyism. We just saw that, last year the theme was that for the Met Gala, which is very into showmanship, which again is my space, maximalism. So I love it, being very eclectic. But anyway, that used to be a thing, being very matchy all the way down. Now you're seeing more people really experiment with their fashion, with their style. With that being said, all the way down to the socks. Have you noticed that a lot of people are paying more attention to accessories? And the reason I use the socks, because your personal brand, right? Remember how I was just talking about like dating, and if you wanted to be a power couple, right? All of those things, you have to look at accessories, right? Or even if you look at for my foodies, right? Even if you look at your food on the plate, right? What's your main dish? A lot of people are big meat eaters. Shout out to my homegirl T. She's a big meat eater. You know what I mean? what's the main thing on the plate? What's the main thing we're serving, which is you. And socks, like who you're dating, depending on how serious they are, the businesses you start, depending on how serious they are a part of your personal brand. They give you personality, it gives you expression. But again, we even hear now in pop culture, I'm standing 10 toes down, really on business. And so what this whole month in Make Your Beauty Mark podcast, all we're talking about mostly this month is you are the fine details in a brand, you are the fine details of a company, you are the fine details of an organization. So yes, we are in the midst of a huge AI change, right? And we have just seen this. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if you're going back and forth, but right now everybody is going back and forth on TikTok. And I think it was about 2 million people have just uninstalled Chat GTP because TikTok, the conversation was Claude was better than Chat GTP. Now, with that being said, just like we need literacy in every part of our lives, right? And we're seeing this crisis in education. We need AI literacy. Every every platform is not created equal. You know what I mean? AI is not doing what you think it's doing. It doesn't work the way you think it's working. And what you're noticing with everybody who has deleted chat and they're using Claude, they're starting to see the difference. Like, oh my goodness, if I want chat to give me recipes or have a conversation with it, if I wanted to remember stuff about me, right? Especially if you're building a personal brand, especially if you're doing social media posts, chat is going to remember you a little more. Now, when you get into Claude, which people are loving Claude, and again, people are also getting confused with the government involvement of wanting to use Claude. They thought it was Chat GTP and it wasn't Chat, it was Claude. People are saying Claude is better if you are talking strategy. So I don't know if you guys also know Gary Vee. I feel like everybody does, but I recently saw him post and delete a video, and it was talking about brand strategy. And with AI, brand strategy won't be really needed anymore. And I just saw the post disappear. With that being said, talking about Claude, right? There was an article that just came out. If I can pull up the data, I will, where it's talking about in the red zones is where it's talking about how AI has really penetrated that market. Also, it's like a circle graph. And the blue part is basically saying the hopes of what AI wants to do. So basically, industries like agriculture, industries like what I think it was like finance. There was a lot of different industries. Tech will like the map looked like a seesaw. One side was lit up and the other side was like, well, what's going on? So basically, the conversation is if you are, and I think I've been saying this for a long time, I believe between now and 2030, we will see the most creative, innovative people from media, from arts to entertainment to nonprofits to social enterprises, from nonprofit leaders, from advocates to social justice advocates. You are about to see a lot of people spring up from nowhere. These people are going to look like they were overnight success, but they've probably been grinding in the space behind the scenes for a very, very long time. Why? Because I think AI is such an opportunity for you to be able to help spread your master quicker, faster, and a little stronger. And the reason I'm going to say stronger, because you do feel a little bit more encouraged with AI. I know for the people who probably are against AI, if you are a solopreneur, again, building a personal brand, right? So that means you're an author, you have a course, you have a book, it should be helping you move a lot quicker. This should not be replacing people. It should actually make you more clear and more decisive about who you hire and what you're asking them to do. And that's what I'm seeing. That's what I believe is going to happen. I think the need for teams and creatives to work together is more important than ever. Because hypothetically, if AI does come in, right? Because remember, this whole month we're talking about how you are in the details. If you haven't noticed, a lot of these companies are retracting that whole conversation of, oh my God, AI is taking all the jobs. They let all these people go only to really understand AI is not there yet. By 2030, I do feel like it would be there, but it's not there yet. So, whether you're starting now or I'll be honest, after 2030, the skill I believe that's going to be in demand is, do you understand what AI platform you're on? Do you understand how to use them and how to make it work for whatever company you're using? Also, can you understand the data and the output that's coming from it to make us better, to make us more money? With that being said, that is exactly how you should be looking at yourself as a personal brand. You should not be playing this whole, like, the internet, and I have been saying this forever. The internet, do not play the social media game. Because if you play in a social media game, you're going to go by likes, you're going to go by giving you hearts. That is not going to help you in the long game. You need to go on the internet. The internet has 5 billion users. Social media platforms combined maybe can get close to that. So you're in the internet. When I say you're on the internet, you need to think about your websites. You do need to think about your social media posts, because when people go to places like Google and they put your name in, what is going to come up about you? And if you haven't noticed, it is a little button on the side and it says AI mode. And if you go to that mode, it's going to do a deep dive on you. So if anybody has written about you, if you have done partnerships, collabs with other people, it is going to find it and it's going to talk about it. So we are completely in the age of personal branding, meaning it is going to be up to you now to articulate your value. What do you want to do? Why do you want to do it? What's your vision? What's your goal? If you've been going to school for 50, 11, 45, 2 years, you need to tell us what you were going to school for. What did you learn? What did you want to accomplish? What did you want to do with that? How are your skills and your talents and all of these things working together to really advance you and your community or your industry further? What is it that you want to do? That's the type of conversations your audience is looking for. That's the type of conversations people are looking to have. People have real problems. Are we not seeing this mental health crisis? It's real. People want friendships. People want genuine relationships. And I believe that is going to happen when more people start looking at themselves as personal brands, meaning they're going to start being mindful about what type of relationships they're into, and do the relationships and the partnerships and the collaborations and the friends that you have. Are they helping you? I'm just being honest, achieve your dream, to live the life that you want to live. Because again, this podcast is called Make Your Beauty Mark. You are here to make a mark. And I just believe you should be using how you look to your advantage, how your brand looks to your advantage, how you tell the story, how you leave the mark. People have, first of all, you get 70,000 thoughts per day. We are blasted with images and videos and scrolling and all types of stuff. People telling you what to do all the time. It's podcasts, it's advice everywhere. You never technically have to be lonely. However, tons of people are lonely. And with that being said, out of all of these people you see, how many people do you remember? And if you do remember them, why do you remember? Do you remember them? Do you remember them because of the visuals? Do you remember them because of what they said? Or do you remember them because they're consistently showing up? And a lot of the times, right, I believe people are remembering people because a lot of these people have shown up consistently with the same personality. But now, if you're noticing, people have been so messy with their relationships and their love life. You're seeing it. It's a lot of going on TikTok right now, right? So many people's relationships are so messy that people are really starting to remember you for what are you doing? What are you doing? So when I say, are you matching all the way down? Are you really representing yourself wholeheartedly, like authentically? Are you really putting yourself out here every day in the best place that you authentically can? First of all, I don't know why we're not talking about this again. Well, I saw a couple videos, like 2 on TikTok, and somebody was talking about it. Knowing yourself, because I do believe that is going to be the separator. You're going to have more people really talking about, hey, I need to know who I am. I don't know what my talents are. I don't know what my gifts are. I don't know any of those things to, you know what I mean, really go out here and monetize and live the life I want to live. So when I'm asking you, for a lot of you who are CEOs and you're founders and stuff, that is great. But you're usually, and I see it every day, you're tying what you're personally doing in your brand to your company so much that you can't separate yourself from your company. And we're seeing this big, right? That what's we're seeing this big divide and shift, especially in companies and leadership, because people don't have succession. And your personal brand is allowing you to have the succession that you want, because a lot of people don't want to retire. You don't want to let it go. You don't have anybody you trained. It's nobody to take that position. And if you do find somebody there, you feel like you're lost. So let me break that down into a couple points that I want to make. One, you have to look at yourself as Steve Jobs and there's Apple. Both need each other, but both are two separate entities. If one leaves and passed, can the other one still exist? Meaning how Steve Jobs passed and he's left us, his company is still alive and well. So as a personal brand, to make your mark, you should be building something past you. However, if that company, right, say for instance you found somebody, your kids, someone, or you were being careless and you're bored, Cappy Coogee and took it over, and now you're out here and you don't know what to do, you have your personal brand. And your personal brand is you doing the same thing I'm doing in the podcast. But you're talking about your experience, what you see. You're really being a thought leader. So a thought leader is a personal brand. Somebody who's famous. Maybe you want to be on stages. Maybe you want to sell tons of books. Maybe you want people to know who you are. Maybe you want to be the Beyonce of your industry, aka that's what Meg Thee Stallion wanted to do. She wanted to be the Beyonce of rap. It's a way to get people to instantly know who you are, what value you have, what you want to give them, right? And how are you going to help them in return? I love helping people with their personal brands. Everything about me. Hence again, that's what I was like, getting down to the details of who you are. When's the last time you asked somebody like what's their personality type? I remember people used to have those conversations. My personality type, by the way, is an ENFJ. That says a lot about who you are for a lot of people who are intellectuals and you want to read. What's your disc type? Mine is an I. What's yours? What's your Enneagram number? Mine is a 4. All of these things are ways to help you identify and hold up a mirror for you to see yourself better. A lot of times, I get it, it's hard to market yourself, but I'm trying to tell you ways to see yourself differently. And that's the details. The details are in the story. The story is, who are you? Where do you want to go? And if you are not where you want to be yet, it's a story in between that you're telling yourself of why you can't get there or why you should be there. And if it's taking you some time, that's when you hire strategists. That's when you hire people to help you with that. As you're getting there on the road, you're starting to notice, hey, I want to look better. I want to look different. This is really who I am. This is really my style, past how somebody else thinks about me. That's when you start hiring image consultants. Hey, I have it's so many people who want to know my story, and it's so many people I want to tell my story to. That's when you start getting PR people and all those types of things. Yes, can you do parts of those jobs? Yes. But in order for you to keep being great, and why people are coming to you is because as much as you love people coming to you, you should love the thing that they're coming to you about too. Because that's the sauce, right? So I even saw somebody do it was Mecca. I'm pretty sure, I feel like most people know who Mecca is, and she did a TikTok video, and basically she was talking about how Jeff Bezos' wife, Lauren Bezos, she's hired Law Road, she has someone like him on her team, and why aren't the fashion girls kind of like accepting her? Why can't she be like an it girl? And she was saying, speaking as a PR person, she wouldn't know what to do or what her strategy should be, because some girls just have it and some girls don't. Here's the thing. I believe it girls happen by age and also by careers, and it depends on your goals and what you want to do. For someone like Olandria, she was very open about her goals, and she saw herself as a model and all of these pieces. So her community was championing for for her as much as she was being a champion for herself, meaning she had more of an aspirational personal brand. So when people saw her rise to power, or, and I'm saying power, influence, beauty, status, you get where I'm going, they cheered for her because they watched her, one, do it. She talked about what she wanted to do. And when she got there, she gave us exactly what we wanted. Because she's always been giving us what we wanted. You know what I mean? So think about it from that point of view. So when we look at Jeff Bezos' wife, for example, right, here's my personal opinion. What I would say, you're playing a whole different game. First of all, I know Mecca was like, she's not paying attention to the times. And, we're in the middle of a war. People are in the middle of losing their job, losing their money, companies, you know what I mean? All of these things are happening because of AI and the fear of AI. She's not being sensitive because she's showing up in these, dresses and clothes and stuff. Here's my thing. I believe she should use her privilege for her. Again, because of how she came into her wealth and because of how she married him and that whole scandal, she needs to use her wealth. Take a page out of Bill Gates' wife. She's going around here to Clark, University and to HBCUs. And I mean, she's dropping money. She get coins to the point other people have seen her do it, and now her girlfriends or her community are doing the same. I believe, Lord, rain down on them. Pull that money down. You have so much money, it's a drop in the bucket for you. It's so much you could do with your money and resources. First of all, starting your backyard. You have someone like Law Roach, knowing he wanted to buy a fashion house, if allegedly, if this is true, that would have been the first place you should have invested your money. You would have been a founder of a fashion house with a personal brand, celebrity style. Epic. People would have been talking about that forever. Hence the thing. Has anybody seen like Gilded Age? You have to kind of think about it that way. You're coming in a whole new scene with a whole new grip on reality, a whole new level of money that hasn't been seen before. So you're going to have to do something that hasn't been done before. So if they think that you're stuck up and the only reason you're there is because of your money, and how they use your money and give it to people who need it, and how you can make a difference and why you wanted to do it. And what were your dreams? What's your aspirations? What's your goals? We don't know any of that personal stuff about you to back you up, to cheer for you, besides you're rich and you look good. Where's the story? Who are you? That's why building a personal brand is important. All we know of you is the identity of who you are with your husband and Law Roach, because he styled you. So two men have still overshadowed you because you don't have a story and you're not speaking for yourself. We don't know who you are. We don't know what you're about, what you want to do. And if we do, it clearly hasn't landed because it's gone. It's gone. It was an idea or a thought. You haven't hammered it in. And hammering it in will put some money behind it. Let's even to the point, all of the stuff came out about her husband. And I'm sitting here pulling up my tablet because, again, this is my show. And on top of that, y'all, we live in a time too, for whatever reason, we act like we're trying to be so smart that we can't sit here and stop for a second and look something up. My God, if you need to scroll off and come back until I get to the point, then, do your thing, boo. And again, remember when I told you AI mode? Can you see it? And you can go right to Google and go right to AI mode and have the conversation. I want to know how much did how much did she donate? And this is the part two. I would have had, again, can't wait till I get there. I would have had someone in here as a producer to help me. Melinda, boom, because I wanted to say Melinda, but I wasn't sure. And we wanted to make sure in Women's Month, we not out here messing up another woman's name. My God. Melinda French Gates. Oh, that is cute. Okay, name. She's committed a total of 12.5 billion. So she has given 1 billion for women's rights. Hold on, I was trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out how much she gave to how much did she give to HBC? And because I remember parts of the interview and where that was going. Um, she's given 130 million specifically to from the Gates Foundation to the UNCF and 15 million for Howard University Morehouse School of Medicine. And she's helped Hampton, Xavier, and I think I said already Morehouse School of Medicine. Listen, and when all of the stuff with the Epstein files came out, with her husband connected to it, she cleared it up and gave some more money. Listen, here's the thing. I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you this is strategy. And my biggest thing as being like a image consultant and social strategist, or just an image and social strategist, is really helping you look at who you are, look at your value, look at all the things that you have to offer, and how can you play that part within society to get you to where you want to go, because we all have different dreams. And for whatever reason, a lot of times we automatically think everybody wants to do the same thing you want to do. However, I do feel like you should be competitive. And so you should look at your industry and what you really want to get for yourself. For instance, somebody like Kim Kardashian, she was like, hey, I want it to be on the cover of Vogue. And by golly, she, by God, she did it. What do you want? And are you going to be honest with yourself about wanting it? Because that's going to determine who's on your team. That's going to determine what type of content you make. I wanted to be here today just as much as you're here and you're listening to this. I was so excited. So excited. Because I want more people to be personal brands. I want more people to sit here and say, I have a message. I want to stand on the stage. I want to learn about this world through the lens and the perspective of other people who are educated about it, people who are fighting for it, people who want to change the world about it. That's exciting. Don't you remember being a kid and being so excited about loving something or having the ability to do it? And a lot of us with this technology and AI, we act like we're in prison. We act like we can't do anything. And you literally have men in prison making content and doing fashion shows and the whole nine. What's your excuse? And so I asked earlier today on Glamcast, again, doing the stuff that, that matters. I have a whole, platform that I'm building for women who are into talk radio, who are into podcasts, who are into these things, because I feel like our voices are needed. Our voices are needed. Our perspective is needed, especially navigating business, navigating parenthood, navigating relationships, and being open and having the conversations and the women relational conversations. We are missing relations so much. We have gotten to the point where we just throw up on people on social media and just say all types of stuff. We really don't take into consideration if people can handle it, their capacity, and we don't listen to people and their stories to be able to give them great advice, to be able to build relationships. So I built Glamcast because I know how it feels to try to navigate this world and understanding careers and understanding how to get into different job markets and how to figure out what my personal brand is and what is my gifting, what is my talent, and where do I go for clothes, where do I go to meet people, where do I go to do all of these things. And on top of that, just being there, because being lonely, right? Living in different parts of your trauma or things that you have experienced, sometimes we don't immediately address those things and we'll harbor those things in, and it can prevent us from being the best versions of ourselves. So as a personal brand, all of those things that you have went through and been through and how you've navigated are the reason that you're in the position you're in, hopefully, and why you're doing what you're doing, because you have had some frustration along this path. I wish I would have known, oh my God, this is what an image consultant does. I would have been calling myself that. But because I remember someone who told me, I'm just being honest, at the time I wasn't a fan of the person because of how harsh they were to me. And even though they said, hey, you're an image consultant, my view of what it was, because they never asked, and their view from what I was telling them I was doing to where I really wanted to be, it wasn't lining up. So think about that. What about if that conversation was more relational? And after I said, no, that's not what I do. And I was like, hey, well, what do you think? And they kind of just blew it off. And it took me years of understanding, you feel me, what an image consultant does, especially based upon different industries and in different career paths. I'm gonna be honest, because I know some people who use an image consultant just to help with their executive presence, and it could just be dressing better. And some people use image consultants like me when you're talking about your overall presence, from social media to your speeches to your online presence, looking up all of those things, to your clothes and how you look, and the content you're going to come out with, and also your creative direction. So again, we're all not created equally, right? However, I wanted to have this podcast to have those conversations. So if you are listening, if you do come back and listen, leave a comment. Tell me what you do for a living. Tell me what it is that you want to do. How do you want to be known? How do you want people to find you? That's a great thing too. Do you want people to find you by being on television all the time? Do you want people to find you by being the go-to source on social media? How do you want to be known? It's kind of very equivalent to me, like, how do you want to be loved? What's your love languages? Because when you're a personal brand, those are easy ways to actually start connecting with your audience and start connecting with people. For me, I love conversations. I love meetups. I love knowing that you were thinking about me. You know what I mean? So a lot of it is like acts of service, quality time. And when you're making content and when you're talking to people and when you're coming up with services for people, what do you think that is? So you have to love what you're doing and how you express that love. 6'7", these kids in 6'7", it's how you have to want to demonstrate that love. And I think that's the ick factor. So when we see people like, to me, Beyonce on a stage, and it makes you want to get on the stage, she truly loves what she does so much. It makes it look so easy that you can go do it and you want to do it. Versus, being inspired to take that attitude and fierceness and confidence and going and applying, it to your career in your area. A lot of times we'll start to get jealous and focus on other people. That's why it's so important to make up your life and design your life the way you want to. The same way that you get up every day and you put your outfit on, and where you have to go somewhere, you put that thing on and you want to have a certain look and a feel. And when you walk through the door, you want them to be like, you look good. That is how you should be showing up in your career. Your personal brand is your career. It's nothing you can get fired from. Nobody can demote you. You are promoting yourself. You get what I'm saying? You have the ability, because of the world that we live in and how we have created it consciously, all of us together. You have the ability to go online, to share your message, to reach tons of people wherever they are. And then to actually meet those people to give you money and support you and want you in those places by you sharing your story. I'm so excited to bring you guys along as I'm starting Glamcast. I'm literally about to go over here and go back to London Nicole Network and start glam streaming and showing you guys behind the scenes of building Glamcast. And I'm building that. And in the process, I have other communities and things that I'm launching that I want women to start feeling better about themselves. I want you guys to start dressing better, especially in terms of your personal brands. A lot of you guys are not really talking about yourself whatsoever. And if you do, I feel like everybody's trying to do it the same way in the same type of podcast. You have to figure out what's your best means of communication and getting into that and finding a zone and popping off. Some of you are great writers. You need to be writing books and outlines and cookbooks. Some of you are great at organization. Some of you need to be writing the planners and organizing the planners. I mean, there's so much stuff to be done. A lot of these companies don't have their binders together and planners and things like that together. A lot of you are completely amazing at, like, I mean, it's just the list just goes on and on. And you're not actively talking about it. So I'm telling you, talk about it in a way that feels comfortable for you. If it's podcasting, yo, you don't have to be on camera. If it's video and you like your face being shown, a lot of people who like to talk to FaceTime and talk on the phone all the time. Oh, you can open the camera all the time and come up with a schedule so people can know and tune in. So they're the first ones to be there. So they're in the know. Okay. So they're the first ones in the know. You know what I mean? So with that being said, listen, she upset her tablet went on timeout. So with that being said, like, don't be afraid to sit here and own your brand. Own it. Rep your brand. Talk about yourself. Talk about what you're doing. Talk about what's happening. The same way you call your friends and you tell them all types of stuff, yo, tell the world, because there's somebody who wants to buy it. There's somebody you're solving that problem to. All right. So listen, my little person, I feel like it's going to keep whining and keep going. You want to tell everybody bye? Say bye, guys. Bye, guys. All right, listen. So again, I had a couple questions for you in this whole broadcast, in this whole conversation. Again, like I said before, your tone, your words, your habit, your timing, your presence, all of those are huge parts of your personal brands. And like I said before, how you show up, how you're styling, how you're choosing to talk, all of these things are communicating your brand. So when you're getting new pictures, when you're getting new visuals, make sure it aligns up with who you really are and where you're really going. Don't be so focused on just being beautiful that it doesn't connect, because we're seeing enough of that. We're seeing enough of that. With that being said, here is my question for you. What detail represents you well? Like, what's your detail that you feel like really represents you well? And yeah, what's your detail? For me, it's the extraness. Everybody sometimes wants to know where they can put a little extra at. And I like the eclectic look. I like that patterns and lines and stuff come together. And it's super crazy. I wished that I was that girl who was able to dress a little funky and do it. I just thought it was so creative and it was so different. Like, how did that person find their style? And it took a lot of playing around and texture and being very comfortable with the colors and the patterns and the extraness that I like. The Victorian displays. I love chandeliers. I love telling a story. I love that it looks different and I'm playing a character with the design in the background. It's a look, it's a mood. Ow. You know what I mean? I loved it. And I loved being around girls who had that thing. And I would ask them, how did you figure it out? And they were like, I would play. They would play in stores. So that is like a huge part for me. I want to be able to, offer that. And that's a huge part of why I have Luna Nicole Network. So, when women want to talk about how to change their makeup and, you know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of people tend to go to fashion first or beauty. So some women jump all the way to, I want to change my clothes first. Some women jump to their face first. For me, it was face first. So I always talk about makeup. So, if you're ready to make up your life and you're like, hey, I need to change a new hair color. I want to try a new hair color. I want to try what's a good color for me. When you get into makeup and where to go, also thinking about your budget when you're buying these things too, because you have to be able to keep it up. And that's why I said it has to be who you really are on and off social media. So when you're starting to change your image, when you're starting to change your look, it's a lifestyle change. So, you have to put in the budget for the makeup. You have to put in the budget for the hair. If not, you're going to have to also think about the time. If you try to DIY it a lot, Do you have the time to do it? Can you navigate the time? If you can't navigate the time in that manner, you're going to have to navigate your time. So that might be you waking up early in the morning. What time are you willing to wake up early in the morning? You know what I mean? How long do you want this look to last? How much time do you have to put on, a face? Also, do you have the time to wash it off and to maintain the other parts? So this is the stuff that a lot of times people don't talk about and have the conversations. And this is stuff that I've done my whole life. I've always had makeup. I've always, what I mean, been able to wear makeup, whether I had a couple dollars to do a face, or, you know what I mean? You learn over time, and then you learn what your style is, where you're going. I have different makeup for different occasions. You know what I mean? Like right now, every day I probably will wear a Maybelline, but if I'm really going out and I'm going somewhere for a long time, I probably would put on MAC. I would probably set it a lot different. You know what I mean? So I'm just being honest. All of those things matter. So we're going to have those conversations. And like I said before, I created Lena Nicole Network just for that. So for women who want makeovers, women who want to do those things, I want to be able to come to you, or you come to me, and we do a whole makeover and we let people see what that looks like, because a makeover takes time. And that takes time for you to find what you like, what's comfortable for you. Hair and makeup and all of these things too. So I'm super excited to bring you guys along with that, have these conversations, especially as you get, like I told you before, as you get older, right? Because feeling sexy at every age, body shape, all of those things change. Where you live at, your career, you know what I mean? Sexy is going to look so different on every person, everybody, how you feel about it, what you're working with, you know what I mean? So it feels different and it's going to look different. Even being the it girl, how you're the it girl is going to look different, or becoming the it girl is going to look different, whether you're trying to do it online, whether you're trying to do it in a career, whatever the case may be. It may look different, and you accepting that and knowing that is your quirky part, or your sexiness, or your glam, or if you're a cutie patootie, as we talk about on TikTok, right? Because I love cutie patooties. I wish I was a cutie patootie so bad. Even the name cutie patootie is so cute, right? So again, valuing other people's beauty as much as your own. Listen, it makes the whole world glamorous. So thank you for checking out Make Your Beauty Mark podcast. Listen, tell me, like I said before, what was the question? Making sure I'm right. What detail you feel like represents you well? Like, what do you think your detail? For me, again, yeah, I'm going to have to say the Maximus. And that really just comes with creativity and imagination. So it's going to hard. Yeah, you know what? If I have to wrap it up, I'm going to probably say, maybe, yeah, creativity and imagination, because I feel like it automatically leads to somewhere visual. So I want to answer it visual, but I want it to sound deep and be like creativity, imagination. But no, the creativity and the imagination leads to the visual. So I'm going to put creativity. Tell me what yours is, right? And I cannot wait to talk to you guys this week. I have so much to talk to you about. I can't wait for you to start telling me what you have going on, because this is a two-way conversation. What are you launching this quarter? I mean, I know you're going to be like, oh my God, it's the end of the quarter. Why would you launch? Because you're about to jump off. You get what I'm saying? Launch, boom, you're jumping off into the next quarter, which for me, I'm calling it, you know what I mean? You're blooming into spring. So what are you growing into? What are you developing into? What are you diving into? What are you blooming into? What are you launching? Yeah, I said what I said. What are you launching? What do you have coming out? This is a great time for events. It's a great time for meetups. It's a great time for conferences, conversations, summits. This is a really good time to meet up and have conversations with people. So tell me what you have going on. I'm excited to talk to you soon. And thanks for listening, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Make Your Beauty Right podcast is a daily, unfiltered, no holds barrier look into the world of personal branding, beauty, leadership, and life as a creative entrepreneur. I'm your host, Lena Nicole, image and personal branding strategist. And my goal is to give you life to the worries that all of us face day after day, struggling to fulfill our purpose and to create a glamorous legacy. In this Laugh Out Loud podcast, me and my guests will be discussing the best ways to make up your mind, monetize that brand, glam up your image like a boss, and how you can stay motivated in a world full of distractions. Your unfiltered beauty experience starts now. You are now listening to Make Your Beauty Mark podcast.